Hurricane Maria slammed into Puerto Rico in the early hours of September 20, bringing 155 miles per hour winds that knocked the majority of the 3,500 square mile island into one of its longest widespread power outages since Hurricane Jeanne made landfall in 2004. As of Tuesday, October 24, more than 50 people have died in the wake of the storm, with the latest deaths linked to bacterial infections. Officials warn that the storm's destructive blow to Puerto Rico's aging electrical infrastructure could take months to repair. More than a month after Maria made landfall, the majority of the island's 3.4 million people are still without power. Residents have relied on portable generators as workers across the island try to repair the damaged electrical grid. In the days after Maria, many residents have struggled to access gasoline, food, water, money and a cell phone signal to contact family members. Others, especially those without electricity, have been cut off from the outside world. In the island's mountainous regions, massive landslides prevented local and federal assistance from reaching residents for more than a week. Note: electricity data is since September 7, when Hurricane Irma grazed the island. Cell phone service data is since September 21, when the Federal Communications Commission started releasing service information daily. In the town of Dorado, residents are lining up at a hazardous waste site to get water for bathing and, in some cases, drinking. The EPA-designated Superfund site has groundwater contamination levels below legal thresholds but is still prompting concerns of disease and infection. The number of people regaining power has steadily increased since Maria made landfall, though incidents of tripped lines have caused fluctuations. Related: trapped in the mountains, Puerto Ricans don't see help, or a way out outside the island. The outage also could have consequences on the mainland United States. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration warned that the outage could cause drug shortages. Puerto Rico manufactures nearly 10% of medicine used by Americans, including numerous medical devices. Vehicles travel along a dark street in an area without electricity after Hurricane Maria in San Juan, Puerto Rico, on September 27. Alex Wroblewski / Bloomberg News. When a blackout occurs in the United States, workers from across the country often can converge, usually by road, to the site. In Puerto Rico, the situation is different. Related: Trump's Puerto Rico video tells positive story but leaves a lot on cutting room floor. Workers and tools must be flown to the island. Any heavy equipment, such as bucket trucks, transformers and wires, must be transported on ships. When the workers and equipment arrive, the next challenge is repairing downed lines. Among the Puerto Rico Electric Power Authority PREPA's 2,478 miles of transmission lines, clearing debris from roads, and providing food and water to residents. Several U.S. utility companies have sent workers to help PREPA with restoring power. On October 19, Whitefish Energy, a Whitefish, Montana-based energy company, announced it signed a $300 million contract with PREPA to repair and reconstruct large portions of the electrical infrastructure. Those downed lines are connected to PREPA-owned power plants that are decades old. The island's electrical grid, which President Trump described as being in terrible shape, was deteriorating from a lack of maintenance even before the 1-2 punch of Irma and Maria. PREPA, one of the largest public utilities in the United States and its territories, has been historically underfunded. The company's finances have been in decline since 2013. According to a November report published by Synapse Energy, a Massachusetts-based energy consulting firm, a combination of inadequate infrastructure investments, staff departures and a leadership team that made bad bets have left PREPA's system in a state of crisis. PREPA's system today appears to be running on fumes, the authors wrote, adding that the company required an infusion of capital, monetary, human, and intellectual, to restore a functional utility. Related: Hurricane Maria has dealt a heavy blow to Puerto Rico's bankrupt utility and fragile electric grid. Before the hurricanes, PREPA said it needed more than $4 billion to overhaul its outdated power plants and reduce its years-long reliance on imported oil. This has caused Puerto Rico to have one of the most expensive electricity rates in the United States and its territories. In July, PREPA filed for bankruptcy with $9 billion in debt, According to the Puerto Rico Fiscal Agency and Financial Advisory Authority. The millions of dollars in repairs from Maria will add an additional burden to the already struggling company, which could delay power restoration to the rest of Puerto Rico. PREPA's debt is only a small chunk of Puerto Rico's overall public debt, which climbed to more than $72 billion in 2015. Puerto Rico's unemployment